And welcome back to Monday Night Football. We're in week number 5 already. Can you believe that?
Busy.
It's been a busy week. We're going to jump into because Todd got a few interviews for us this week. We've got quite a bit. We're going to go over Coahulla Creek, Southeast Girls this segment. Coahulla Creek, Southeast Boys next segment. We got some Northwest stuff to discuss. Some Murray County, Gordon Central, Wagon Train Cup updates. We got
It's Wagon Train week, folks. Get excited.
We've got.
Now, you might think that Juan is overly excited because, Juan, what's the number one rule of the green screen?
You don't wear the color green. So, you know what I
That's
made?
right.
I wore a green hat, thank you to the farm for sponsoring the hat. And then I wore a California Republic shirt that is green and forgot that we were going to be on TV.
So, periodically during the show, if it just looked like his head's floating over here,
Yes.
that's probably why.
But let's go to that OptiLink scoreboard. We had quite a few games this week and some reschedules and some games. But, I mean, there was games every day of the week, I think.
Yep. So, Southeast, Cartersville, Southeast Girls getting it done over Cartersville 3-2 last Monday.
Yes. And then we had Christian Heritage blitzing Ridgeland again. I think
In
8-0. So that was 15 goals to 2 against Ridgeland for the year. Murray County. Now, this scoreline surprised me for a little bit, but maybe Gordon Central's not as a strong team as they have in the past few years. But Murray County coming out with a 1-0 win on the boys. Girls going down 1-0. Southeast.
Still
boys
a great
over.
result on the
Dalton Academy had a great week. Well, not a great week per se, but they played some great competition. They went down to Raider Stadium and lost 3-1 that game. And then Dalton going down to McIntosh, potentially a 5A state championship or semifinal game because they're both in the same classification.
Then we got Northwest on the boys and the girls. The boys blitzing Cartersville 10-0 and the girls 6-2. And then Dalton girls taking out Rome 5-2.
And then Christian Heritage going down in a hard-fought game. I was there 1-0 to to Coahulla Creek, and then the girls, Coahulla Creek girls going up 10-0 on Christian Heritage.
Number 5 in the state, Coahulla Creek girls.
Yeah, and then you got Southeast on Friday tying. You got some reactions to this game later on. Southeast boys tying 1-1, and the girls coming back with a 3-0 win, puts them up in the Dalton's still up in the Soccer City Cup. And then you got Dalton High boys 7-0 win over Calhoun, and the girls with a 2-0 win over Calhoun.
All right, on Saturday, I had a couple of showcases. Northwest over, Trinity Christian on the girls' side, 4-0. And on the boys, they took out Harris County 4-0. So nice couple of results.
And then Dalton Academy was playing the same showcase, but they had a nightcapper against Rome, and they lost 3-1, which Rome, if you don't know, is in 5A.
Yep.
Southeast is in 4A. Coahulla Creek's in 3A, so they've been playing some competition.
Yeah, I feel like this whole week was all about Creek and TDA playing a bunch of games this week because they were all over the place.
But we got some highlights for the Creek Southeast. Is that correct?
Yep. So we can go to those highlights whenever we're ready. So man, it was a wet one. So let's start out with the girls here.
And that's just a bad way to go down. It can sort of get demoralizing if you get something that's an easy goal.
Yep. So that was the first goal by by Maya Camacho. She had 2 goals in this game, and then a third was added later in the game by Leslie Alanis.
Is this it right here?
I think so.
Oh.
And I'll be honest with you, the weather played havoc all night, not just in the girls' game, but also in the boys' game as well. And we after this, I caught up with Coach Uli Dominguez after the game.
Assistant coach, right?
Yeah, assistant coach. Yeah, Todd Close could not be found. He snuck away from me.
He didn't want to see you, most likely.
Yeah, probably. But at the same time, he had some really glowing words to say about the team, his squad after this, talking about the performance they put in, probably one of the most complete performances they had. So whenever we get that interview up with, here we go. With the assistant coach of the Lady Raiders, Uli Dominguez. Uli, tell me a little bit. You guys come out with a 3-0 win tonight. What were your feelings on the game?
I feel like today was actually our best game of the season. We going up to this game, we haven't been doing good. We have a good first half, a bad second half, and I feel like today the ladies actually came out to play. We had a lot of good build-up, a lot of good passing, and a lot of focus, and we had 2 good halves coming into this game.
All right, so I don't know if you knew, but this was part of the Soccer City Cup match. So you get 3 points out of this and a +3 on the goal differential. Do the girls know about the Soccer City Cup? Are they paying attention to that, or they just do whatever games?
No, they're definitely aware of that. They were a little mad they weren't in it last year.
Yeah.
But I know now they are this year. I told them, I know it's not a region match, but we're still playing for a cup here in town, and they were excited and they were ready to play today.
That's awesome. Well, good showing tonight, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Sure. Thank you.
And that was assistant coach Yuli Dominguez with the Southeast, just giving us his little update on the game. And you were able to catch up with Coach Cooley as well. And I don't think we've had a Coach Cooley interview.
Yeah, Cooley, man.
Did we get one last year? I think we got one last year.
Sometimes he's elusive too. So, but yeah, we caught him in a tent because I'm telling you, it was pouring down rain. The weather was just awful. So props to all those who showed up Friday night for that one.
Yeah, I was not there. Sorry.
Yeah, well,
previous engagement.
There was hot chocolate, so if you followed our page, like I gave kudos. I was dishing out flowers to the concession stand. So we can go to the Coach Coley interview as soon as we get that up. Hey, we're here with Coach Coley right after the Cullowhee Creek girls fell 3-0 to a strong Southeast team on a terribly rainy night here at Raider Stadium. Coach, what do you take away from a game like this?
Well, great team, great passing, fast. Good skill. I mean, this is the games where you get better, right? You can go two ways. You can either take it for momentum, or you can take it and let it hurt you a little bit. But I'm going to take it for momentum because our players played really, really well. And you only get better if you play better competition. So we've been playing really, really good. But this is the best team that we've played so far.
Absolutely. So you
played a good Dalton team.
Yep.
Played a great Dalton team. Nothing against them, but I feel like for us, this team gave us a little bit tougher time because their passing was so good.
How do you feel about moving into region play?
I feel really good. This is our girls are a great, talented team as well. I've got, just a bunch of hard workers. So proud of them, and they're going to do well in our region. And you're going to do well whenever you can at least hang in there with teams like Southeast and Northwest and Dalton. So I'm excited to see how they're going to do in region. They're going to do well.
Well, best wishes moving forward, and
thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And with that was a Coach Cooley interview. And like I said, this segment is already going to be a wrap. So, but when we come back, we'll be discussing the boys' game between Cullowhee Creek. So we'll see you back after this commercial break.
Who's up for some football?
That's not football. This is football.
And Eddie, there's one thing that we all can agree on.
That's it. North Georgia is the home for new and pre-owned vehicles.
And don't forget accessories, parts, service, and collision needs.
Claro que sí se puede. Come see us.
Hey, that's our part.
Experience the power of the links. OptiLink's streaming app VidLink, powered by its fastest internet service, GigLink. Your link to reliable remote access to healthcare. Your link to the best educational opportunities. Your link to our community's only local provider. Your link to the ultimate in entertainment choices and gaming experiences. No interruptions and faster downloads power up your life with the perfect combination of speed and entertainment. VidLink and GigLink. Upgrade today and get the power of the link.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? What would it be like? With today's home values, this is the perfect time to sell and make those dreams a reality.
At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams.
At Coldwell Banker Kennard Realty, we've been serving our community since 1974 with offices in Dalton, Calhoun, Ringgold, Cartersville, and Cleveland, Tennessee. We've got you covered.
And welcome back to Monday Night Football. We're to our second segment. And Juan, I'm telling you, like the game on Friday night at Southeast with Cohola Creek, the weather was awful, but the hot chocolate was on point. So thank you very much.
Russell Vick.
Yeah, so hey, I was treated like royalty. Okay, I was in the press box. It was heated, and it was. You should have been there.
Did he bring up Roy Alvaron by any chance?
No, he did not.
He did not.
No, he
okay,
did not. He's over that.
No, well, when I was there, he brought him up. That's why I was just asking.
But it really was. You heard Coach Coley talk about when you go up against a top 10 team in the state in Southeast, it might be a tough day, but when Cohola Creek, when they get into the region, I think they're going to do really well, and this is just battle testing them for that. And so you look at Creek, they fall to 6-2, still in really good shape as they start to move into region next week, and then Southeast moves on to 6-0-1. And then, of course, they start their region play coming up here and really soon. But yeah, I don't know. I thought the weather was one of the biggest factors, but it was really nice to hear like Coach Dominguez talk about the Southeast girls finally putting together a front to back, full 90 minutes performance.
And I mean, like I said, so you as you mentioned, it brought up the record 6-1, which right now they are the lone undefeated team amongst the girls in our area right now. So now we know that may change here because they're going to have to play Northwest. They're going to have to play Dalton again at the end of the season. They're going to have to still play Heritage. But, like I said, it's a good score line. I know my prediction so far probably going to come through with Leslie. I said she's going to either be a 15-10 or a 20-10, and I think she's more than on her way to being there.
She's probably going to be there.
And then I also called the Zeke Ortiz one as well. So
how many goals did you call for him?
Either 15 or 20. And I had to go back.
He's already there. So. All right, so we can move on to the boys, the Southeast Creek. Now, this one, you got to understand, Creek was coming off a game the night before where they played Christian Heritage at Christian Heritage. Juan, you were there?
And that game was very tight.
Yeah.
It was a 1-0 win for for Creek. So I don't know if when Coach Jacobo scheduled this game a year ago, it was like, this Christian Heritage, this probably be a good game to play JV people, and then we can just move into our but it wasn't like that at all.
And if you've watched Christian Heritage this year, you knew it probably wasn't going to be like this. So Creek come out with a 1-0 win over Christian Heritage. They go to Southeast Friday night and playing this is a Soccer City Cup match, so it's wet. And honestly, I thought Southeast might roll them because they would probably be tired, but that's not how it played out.
So we got some highlights for this game, so let's try to roll into those highlights really quick. Oh, actually, these are. These are Cohola Creek Christian Heritage highlights. So that was the winning goal from Friday. This is going to be a backflip. Oh, yeah.
We're going to have to talk about that.
So that was the highlights from Christian Heritage, and that was a lone goal scored, glancing header. When I saw that game, when I walked into the stadium for the Christian Heritage Creek game, honestly, I was like, for a minute I had to do a double take. Was I at the right game? Because Christian Heritage is so big, like physically big.
Yeah.
Their back line is easily probably 6 foot 6.
This is what's funny is it's not the only person I've heard say this.
And so I'm like, oh my God, these kids are like, now and the one thing is that they do have heart, they don't give up. Maybe they don't have the technical skills and abilities on the back line. They do have Pridgen, Marco, some players that do.
They got enough quality to punish you.
They do. And the one thing that I felt disappointing about that game, Marco, pretty much out of the game. Like you didn't even, he's their number 10. Didn't even know that he was on the field. I don't know if it was by design or.
And I did not necessarily, but I did speak to Coach Boyd through some text, and she did mention that Marco sacrificed a lot of it going forward to sacrifice defensively for the squad. So that's probably what you saw playing
so
out.
we were.
So kudos to Marco Aristigi for taking one for the team, and sometimes it's more important to.
Yeah, because I was thinking. Deep. So see, I didn't know that insight, but thank you for providing that because that's what I was. Because he wasn't really a factor.
Right.
It was sort of, Pridgen was trying to do his thing, but, technically, the Creek was there to shut him down. Creek had the better run of play. They had the better chances on goal. Cohola or Christian Heritage did try to get in the second half. But like I said, it's not they're the lowest division of soccer here in the state of Georgia. And they went and played a 3A Coahulla Creek.
Right, a very, very good 3A. And we found out exactly how good just 24 hours later when the Creek boys go down to Southeast.
And do we have that highlight for Southeast? I want to say that you do so if we do, let's try to bring out that Southeast Coahulla Creek highlight from Friday night, even though it was a 1-1 scoreline. I think we may not have it.
I think the shoe was pretty much on the other foot in that game in terms of like how, Creek came out. They were more defensive when they came out. Like, obviously Southeast controlled tempo, they controlled possession, and Creek was trying to catch them on the counterattack. Southeast did pull ahead in that game through, I think that was a Jonathan Garcia goal.
Freshman.
That put them up. And honestly, they looked in control until about 20 minutes to go in the second half. And then you saw Creek start to come alive. They got some chances on goal. Cordoba, the goalkeeper for Southeast, stood up twice, had a double save on one. And I was like, that was the shot. If Creek was going to do it, that's when it happened. That's when they were going to equalize. But then with about 10 minutes left, Southeast gave up a free kick from about 25 out. And then steps up Sal Barcenas. Puts it through on goal. I told you the weather played a factor, deflected off the goalkeeper's gloves and into the goal. So it was just one of those nights where the weather played a factor all over the place. And I felt like Creek earned the draw. My heart went out to Cordoba after making some outstanding saves. So it was one of those things that it was mixed emotions as everything went down there at Raider Stadium.
So let's really, I know you got an interview with Jacobo, but we're not going to have time to get in this segment. We'll have to come back to it. But if we can, let's just bring up the Soccer City standings and schedule really quick. That way we can go over, obviously, on the boys' side, Dalton's still up and this is a schedule. We do have a game this week, which got moved to Wednesday.
That's right.
For Dalton, actually, not tomorrow. It's going to be Wednesday due to Northwest Elite 8 basketball team or something. That's why it got moved. And then there'll be a couple weeks breaks before we crank back up. But let's look at those standings really quick before we go to commercial break. These for the girls. Now, they're tied, overall 3-3. So, yeah, that is right because of the goal differential.
That's right. So they're tied.
So, the crucial game is going to be that Northwest game. And then we'll see, and then obviously the Dalton game.
It's going to be Wednesday, right? The Dalton Northwest game will be Wednesday.
Yes. And then we got the boys' highlights as well, or the boys' Soccer City Cup, if we can bring those up. And, yeah, look, I just want to say right now, to be honest with you, I think I don't want to say it's over, but I feel like it may be over with the Southeast Coahulla tie. I see that it may be Dalton's year to take it back-to-back.
Well, absolutely, and it's going to be up to – I hate to put this on Northwest, but it's going to be up to them to kind of – if Dalton's going to slow down, it's going to happen this Wednesday, and Northwest has got to get some sort of result out of that, whether it be a draw or a win.
And right now we're going to go to commercial break. When we come back, we'll have the interview from Southeast and Coahulla Creek.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? What would it be like? With today's home values, this is the perfect time to sell and make those dreams a reality.
At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams.
At Coldwell Banker Kennard Realty, we've been serving our community since 1974 with offices in Dalton, Calhoun, Ringgold, Cartersville, and Cleveland, Tennessee. We've got you covered.
Growing up, we moved around a bunch. My dad was a doctor, and we wound up moving to a bunch of different states. And you really get a glimpse moving around a lot to see how a lot of people are struggling. And there was a big draw inside me to kind of help those people during difficult times. I had no intention of being a lawyer. I had a forestry degree, and I wound up teaching environmental education, but it was the environmental justice that really drew me to the law. So I wound up joining an employment law firm out in Denver. When I was working in Denver, I was also doing trial advocacy, and Casey Geiger, he was on the trial advocacy team. So we got to know each other that way. We stayed in touch throughout the years until eventually we decided to join together. I think the culture of a firm is important, and at Geiger Legal Group, we certainly have a very good firm culture. When the firm culture is one of family, that encompasses the clients. The whole reason for the firm are our clients, and treating them like family is just a natural extension. Whether it's my immediate family or whether it's the family of clients that we help, I try to approach it in the same way, which is respect and caring towards those people. These are people who are coming to you at the worst times in their lives. Whether it's a small case or a catastrophic case, I'm going to put the same effort in for each client to make sure they get the best result that they possibly can. I think of the law as a service industry. We really are a service industry, and that we're here to serve our clients. It's not the other way around, and I would hope that each client leaves our representation understanding and really appreciating that. For anyone who's struggling with issues at their workplace or personal injuries, I urge you to call Geiger Legal Group.
Welcome back to Monday Night Football. So we do have that game. We actually have the game-winning,
game
equalizing goal from the game. So we're going to roll right into that, and then we're going to roll into here it is.
It's probably felt like a winner. So you guys, like I said, this is easily about 25 out. Saul Bersanius lines it up.
No, it's more out because that's 18 box.
Oh, Tony, the wet turf, it skipped right in front of the keeper.
But if my good friend and former goalkeeping coach at Dalton High would say, Coach Wicks, you got to put your full body behind the ball. The way it looked like he was right here, and it ricocheted went here. If you'd have been big body behind it.
Hey, I'm not a goalkeeper, so you ain't going to hear me say nothing.
I'm just saying I've been around him long enough time that I think that's what Coach Wicks would say.
My heart goes out to the keeper on that one.
It does, but I think he would have said he'd had to have a big body behind it, and that's why you.
Kudos to Saul Bersanius for getting that through a wall and on the keeper. So,
but we do have the Jacobo in here for the boys, so he's going to discuss the outcome of the game and give us his thoughts.
Hey, we're here with Coach Jacobo just after the Coahuila Creek draw with Southeast at the Soccer City Cup match. So they'll split the points, 1 point each on this one. Coach, kind of assess your performance tonight.
I mean, the boys definitely brought it out. I know they were tired. We iced their legs because they were heavy. I kept on getting the boys letting me know that their legs felt really heavy after Christian Heritage, which they're really, I'm going to give it to them. They're definitely brought the program up from what we've had in the past couple of years. I didn't see them being as physical as they were against us. So we definitely came in tired, but I mean, there was no letting out from the boys. And from the get-go, the boys were telling me they were going to get it, whether it was a tie or a win, they were going to get it today. So I mean, they definitely hustled out on this one.
For you, any standout players for you tonight?
Saul, Tony, I mean, they've been really good captains this season, and I mean, Saul's taken a different spot these past couple of games, and I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen the benefit in it.
All right, well, congratulations on, I know you guys were down 1-0, fighting hard back and getting that draw tonight. We'll see you at the next one.
Appreciate you, thank you.
So, I mean, you heard Coach Jacobo talk on it right there. You know, he didn't expect that kind of game from Christian Heritage the night before, but, you know, his guys displayed a lot of heart, and so they split the points in the Soccer City Cup with Southeast. And Juan getting on it this week, he got an interview with Southeast assistant coach Nick Finney. When did you get that anyway?
I got it actually at halftime of the Christian Heritage Coahuila Creek game. So he gave us a little insight of what the previous games they have had, and then I asked him what are the top two things that he would need to see for them to come out victorious against Creek. So now, obviously, they came out to 1-1, so we can see what
happened and what didn't.
Yes. So let's roll into that as well. Here we are with assistant coach Nick Finney from the Southeast Raider Rage. Coach, we weren't able to catch up with you guys after Friday or Tuesday's matchup, but so far, just give us your outlook of, you know, the Friday match, and then obviously the coming back and beating Dalton Academy on Tuesday.
Yeah, the Friday Dalton match, I mean, we got to give them credit. I think they came out and they kind of wanted it more and just were more aggressive and more physical, and I don't think we played our best game, but we got to give them credit, and we just got to move on from there. On to the Dalton Academy game, another tough game. We knew they were going to come out, physical and fast, and we definitely think that as far as intensity, it was more on the level that we need, and we just want to continue that for the rest of the season.
And now you've got a big game coming up on Friday versus Coahulla Creek. Obviously a rival, just a county rival. So what do you think? Give me 2 keys for that game. What do you think are 2 keys that you guys need to accomplish to come out victorious in that game?
Yeah, definitely another great opponent on the schedule. I think 2 keys probably for us would just be, I think, one, that intensity. They're going to be coming off a tough game the night before, so bringing that intensity that we've hope to continue to have, and then probably just maybe finishing and just continue to play in our game is really what we need to do.
All right, well, like I said, appreciate it. Like I said, so far a great season, and like I said, we look forward to seeing you guys play against Coahulla Creek on Friday night. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And as mentioned, that was assistant coach Finney, 3-time state champ at the Southeast Raider Rage. 2 keys, it says, was intensity and finishing goal scoring opportunities.
Well, I thought they were intense. The intensity was there. And hear me out. I don't think they were aggressive enough in a lot of the aspects of their game. So intensity, yes, maybe, but maybe not channeled in the right ways. I just feel like they're lacking a little bit of aggression.
And now, we're going to go to some Northwest stuff. Northwest boys and girls had some successful games. We do have some highlights from the girls. Thank you to Raquel Hernandez for sending those in. Ran into her. She said they watched the show and said, hey, if you watch the show, send us some clips. And she goes, I got you. So she was able to get us some clips. And we ask that for any parent. If you want clips, if you're taking it on your cell phone like Mama Ortiz does for Dalton High, send it to production@WDNNTV.com.
We should probably have something.
And we will have something like Geiger Legal. So these highlights we're about to show are brought to you by Geiger Legal. Should be some Cartersville highlights when they won 10-0. And then
that's on the boys. The girls won 6-2 versus Cartersville.
Yeah, so here's the first goal. Oof. Straight rip from outside. Like I said, these
are the boys' highlights.
Yeah, boys' highlights.
So in this, you had a couple of hat tricks. Nico Cunha coming in with a hat trick, and you see Adrian Capistran also chipping in 3. So there's 6 at one time. That was nice finish. And I'll tell you, this is exactly what you want coming into a Soccer City Cup match with Dalton High. Is you want to be putting the ball in the back of the net with some consistency. So regardless of who it is, if you're bagging 10 goals in a game, while I'm sure Northwest will like that. Stiffer competition always feels good to get your confidence up and putting the ball in the back of the net.
Like I said, and look, this is really quick. It's 10 goals, and man, I think we got everyone in this game. So appreciate the video. Again, these highlights. I think we even have highlights of their next game, their other game that they played, Harris County. So, and like I said, that was brought by Geiger Legal Group. If you have any personal injury needs, go see Geiger Legal. Ask for Chris Brown, the curly-headed guy, and he'll be able to help you out.
You're not going to throw me under the bus this week?
No, I'm not going to throw you under the bus this week.
That.
But with that, we're getting ready to go to commercial break, actually. So we got 10 seconds before we have to go into the next segment, but we'll bring up any extra highlights that we have in that one, discuss any other game. So with that, we're going to go to commercial break.
Who's up for some football?
That's not football. This is football.
And Eddie, there's one thing that we all can agree on. That's it. North Georgia is the home for new and pre-owned vehicles.
And don't forget accessories, parts, service, and collision needs.
Claro que sí se puede. Come see us.
Hey, that's our part.
Experience the power of the links. OptiLink's streaming app VidLink, powered by its fastest internet service, GigLink. Your link to reliable remote access to healthcare. Your link to the best educational opportunities. Your link to our community's only local provider. Your link to the ultimate in entertainment choices and gaming experiences. No interruptions and faster downloads power up your life with the perfect combination of speed and entertainment. VidLink and GigLink. Upgrade today and get the power of the link.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? What would it be like? With today's home values, this is the perfect time to sell and make those dreams a reality.
At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams.
At Coldwell Banker Kennard Realty, we've been serving our community since 1974 with offices in Dalton, Calhoun, Ringgold, Cartersville, and Cleveland, Tennessee. We've got you covered.
Hey, welcome back to Monday Night Football. So in the last segment, we were just wrapping up some Northwest highlights. We saw them blitz Cartersville 10-0. They also played Harris County in the Northwest Georgia showcase.
Down in Rome?
Down in Rome. So historic Barron Stadium.
Historic Barron Stadium.
So we do have some highlights from that 4-0 win. And like I said, you know, when your last two games, if you're putting in 14 and allowing none, that's always going to be fun.
And there was the first goal.
Northwest Woodfield.
Looks like Northwest made a pretty easy work of things. Adrian Capstrong getting in there. Nice to see him getting on the scoreboard with some consistency. Like to see that. I mean, if you're Northwest fan, you want to see that big left foot on Wednesday night. Which, mind you, if you got the old schedule, the Dalton Northwest game was moved from Tuesday to Wednesday.
Correct.
So that's going to start off the girls at 5:30 and the guys at 7:30. That once again, that is a Soccer City Cup match. So Northwest boys, a couple of games last week, totally routed the competition.
Northwest girls came out 6-2 winners over Cartersville. Merrill Clark.
A couple of more goals for her.
I mean, I think she's in double digits, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Her and the Clark sisters.
So this is setting up the showdown quite nicely. Let's see, Northwest girls, right now their record coming in at 4-2. You know, the way they've been playing against Dalton, like, you know, they're going to come out, and it's going to be interesting. This is their chance to kind of rectify their last few games against Dalton going back to last year. So it'll be interesting. But now let's move on to Murray County. Murray County, they go down to Gordon Central last week and get the win. I did not have that on my bingo card. I mean, I was hoping it would be a good game, but they come back with a 1-0 win. We do have the highlight from that, and we can go to it whenever we get it pulled up there. Hey, look at this.
Very fancy.
Nice. All right. So thank you to Coach Bergagno over in Murray County for putting together this highlight package for us.
Oh, nice save by Jacob.
Yep, Jacob's getting a good save there, getting down to the near post. And see a little field damage there, a little sand trap.
Yes.
Is that a sand trap?
Yeah. You got one on the backside back there.
Here we go. And apparently this was a 0-0 game late into the game. I think maybe with 5 minutes left, Murray County was able to pull out the winner. And, you know, I really don't know the kind of squad that Gordon Central has this week. We do know the kind of squad they've had over the past few years.
Yes, in the past few years we've known, well, if you don't know, Gordon Central has made runs to the Final Four in their classification in the last few years. So, I mean, for me looking at this on paper from the beginning, I was like, oh, I think Gordon Central may get this just because of their record that they've had in the past. But obviously, Murray County came out victorious. You know, they came up 1-0.
So, so they come out with a nice 1-0 win, and then this week coming up it's Wagon Train Week. That game has also been moved from. Nice near post save there too. Looks like he tried to go near post on him. So that game has been moved from Tuesday to Wednesday as well. All right. What? Okay. Well, that was crossbar. That was definitely crossbar.
Oh,
nice.
Always falling through the ball.
That was Ian Guzman with the goal. And what a service in. I don't know who put that ball in, but off the crossbar, clearly, like I said, not off the football post.
No.
So All right, so that was a 1-0 win for Murray County. Congrats to those guys. And going into Wagon Train Week, you want all the confidence you can. Murray County boys moved to 3-3 on the year, 2-0 in the region. They're going to be going up against the North Murray boys at 5-1, 4-0 in the region. And I've let the coaches know we will have, just like the Soccer City Cup, we will have a trophy for presentation for the Wagon Train Cup this year. Same rules, home, away.
Oh, so we're going to have both classic, so both games count.
Yeah, both games do count.
Okay, for
That's
boys
right.
and girls.
For boys and girls.
All right, man.
So,
we better go get some sponsorships for this.
I know.
So let's go see who can sponsor
If
these.
anybody wants to step up on the other side of the river and sponsor the Wagon Train Cup, that's awesome. But we got that coming up this week.
So who do you got in the boys and the girls? Who you saying the favorite is? I mean, record-wise, say North Murray, but
No, right, record-wise, I mean, but this is one of those. It's you throw the record out, right? I mean, like you said, on paper, you got to pick North Murray on both record alone, but you throw the record out. This one's going to be played at North Murray. Beautiful stadium, beautiful view of the mountains over there. So get over there if you can. I don't know. I think we're gonna see. I'm picking North Murray 2-1 on the girls, and I'm gonna go 1-1 on the boys' side.
1-1 on the boys' side.
That's right. So we'll see what happens.
So what kind of?
I don't normally pick games, but I'm picking this one.
So what kind of food do you think they're gonna have for the Wagon Train Cup? Like when I think of Wagon Train,
I can't. Whatever he's about to say, I can't wait.
I'm thinking about like some hot chili with some cornbread or something like that because it's a Wagon Train type. Off the wagon. When they're working in the. Something quick that you needed to put out on the stove, and
that's right. So some cornbread, is that what you're telling me?
Some cornbread, man. Some good cornbread.
Look, we're just throwing ideas out there. Coach Ambrose, I know you're over the concessions there at North Murray, so whatever you want to make happen.
I mean, all I know, there's a theme around the North Georgia soccer, and it's taco trucks or taco vendors. So let's just see what happens. Like I said, this is going to be a great matchup. Hoping everyone from Murray County can get out there to support the community, the kids.
That's right. I think it's nice.
And like you said, it is going to be played at North Murray. So at North Murray, if you've never had a chance to go see North Murray, or maybe you go play golf at Indian Trace and you want to go, hey, there's a soccer match. Let me just go, after hitting 18 holes, let me just go right down the street.
That sounded very specific, by the way.
Let's just go hit some, I just finished playing 18 holes at Indian Trace. Let me just go right down the street.
For those of us who play golf on an afternoon on a Wednesday.
Or, if you, look, and I know we've been talking about tacos, or if you haven't had a chance, go to Taco Robles right down the street from North Murray High School. They have some bomb ceviche, and there's a bomb.
And Millie's Tacos, they've been catering some of these events.
But I don't have a favorite really in this game. Like I said, you said, what was it on the boys?
I got a 1-1 on the boys' side, and that may shock some people.
I'm not going to go 1-1 on the boys.
Just because I think it's going to be scrappy. I think it's going to be physical.
I think I'm going to come out 4-1 North Murray over
4-1.
4-1, yes.
That's a lot. That's a lot in a rivalry game.
I'm going 4-1.
What are you doing on the girls' side?
Girls' side, I'm going to go 1-0 Murray County.
1-0 Murray for the upset? Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. Upset.
I've had a chance.
North Murray wants putting you on upset alert.
I've had a chance to watch Murray County play when they played TDA earlier in the year. So even though I think the outcome of that game didn't come out the way they wanted it to be, but I know that Coach Fleming's going to have her girls ready to go. So looking forward to seeing that. As mentioned, I'm going 4-1 North Murray for the boys, and then I'm going 1-0 Murray County with the upset.
Well, be there. You know what? Pick a game on Wednesday not to go to. Either be in Tunnel Hill or be over at North Murray and support your squad, support your local teams. Should be good. Hopefully weather holds out. I mean, it can't get any worse than it was Friday night. So, and kudos to the Southeast Color Creek crowd for showing up.
With that, we're going to go to a commercial break. So we'll see you here in a few minutes.
Who's up for some football?
That's not football. This is football.
And Eddie, there's one thing that we all can agree on. That's it. North Georgia is the home for new and pre-owned vehicles.
And don't forget accessories, parts, service, and collision needs.
Claro que sí se puede. Cancillas.
Hey, that's our part.
Experience the power of the links. OptiLink's streaming app VidLink, powered by its fastest internet service, GigLink. Your link to reliable remote access to healthcare. Your link to the best educational opportunities. Your link to our community's only local provider. Your link to the ultimate in entertainment choices and gaming experiences. No interruptions and faster downloads power up your life with the perfect combination of speed and entertainment. VidLink and GigLink. Upgrade today and get the power of the link.
One of the benefits of working with a smaller firm is that you're not handed off from attorney to attorney. Attorneys don't come and go. We'll be here, and we'll be handling your case from start to finish, and you can count on that.
I will be handling your case personally. We don't have a bait and switch system. We don't have an attorney who sees you to try to settle your case, and then another attorney or paralegal to come in the middle, and then a third attorney at the end. You will be my client. I will talk to you from the moment you walk in until I hand you a check and see you smile. During your initial case evaluation, you're gonna come in and you're gonna meet with me or one of the other attorneys in my office. We're gonna listen to you first. We wanna know about the car accident or the wreck or however you got injured.
We'll give you advice about how to handle the case going forward. But the important thing for a client is to understand is that our job is to take the stress off of them, take the worry off of them. Once they leave here, leave it with us, we'll handle it.
We are passionate about representing people in wrongful death and personal injury cases. It's what we do. It's why I became an attorney. We will unburden you of the concern of worrying about how to deal with insurance companies, about worrying about how you're going to pay your medical bills. We will explain that to you and walk you through all of the processes and protect you all the way. You can call us at 706-278-2099 or contact us through our website. That's cowanlawoffice.com. We have a link that goes directly to us 24/7.
And we're back to a couple segments left before the end of the show. But we do want to bring up the OptiLink scoreboard. Just go over the scores real quick. This was our score for Monday. Southeast girls with a 3-2 win over Cartersville.
All right, Christian Heritage, 8 over Ridgeland. Murray County, 1 over Gordon Central. Just talked about that. And the girls losing a close one, 1 goal to Gordon Central. Southeast 3, Dalton Academy 1, and Dalton falls to McIntosh. That was a battle of 1 versus 2. They lose 4-1 at McIntosh.
And then we had Northwest boys blitzing, which saw highlights of that 6-2 or 10-0 over Cartersville. And then we had the girls with a 6-2 win, which Southeast barely got them 3-2. So maybe we don't look at score lines too much, but that's an increase in score. And then Dalton girls. 5-2 over Rome, which the scoreline there had been 4-2 from Northwest to Southeast. So Dalton had to score an extra goal. And then here's our scores from Thursday.
Christian Heritage, we got them just losing by 1 to Cahulla Creek. We already talked about that game. That was a close one. And of course, Creek, that was Christian Heritage's first game. The girls losing 10-0. And on Friday, Southeast Cahulla split the points 1-1. And then Southeast girls 3-0 over Cahulla Creek. Dalton 7, Calhoun 0 on the boys' side, and 2-0 on the girls' side.
And this was Saturday down in the Rome Tournament Classic they had down there, a historic Barron Stadium. You had Northwest coming up victorious, both boys and girls. Boys 4-0 over Harris County, and then girls coming up victorious 4-0 over Trinity Christian. And then Dalton Academy taking an L to Rome, but they scheduled the way they scheduled to get ready for the season. Talk about Dalton Academy, they went and visited and playing Southeast on Tuesday night game. Yeah. They came down. They came down to 3-1 defeat, but they're coming off back-to-back losses, but they're coming off 3-1 loss, and we do have some highlights of that game. They're coming off a loss during the week to back-to-back state champ Southeast, and then they go and lose to Rome, which is not that. It's great competition. So, but let's roll into some highlights, and then we can discuss.
I think Southeast and Coahulla Creek found themselves in the same position versus Christian Heritage and TDA. They were in more of a fight than they wanted to be in.
Exactly, and I think in the, as we call them, the Fighting Ruri Alvarez.
That's right, the
Fighting Ruris. They came out fighting, not physically. The thing about Coach Ruri Alvarez team is they're going to
match your energy.
Yeah, they're going to match your energy from beginning to end as long as they can.
Yeah.
They stand up the whole game. Now the only thing is in this game they were told to sit down.
Oh, because they were standing. Like if you've never seen a TDA boys game, they do stand up the whole match.
So the ref.
I think personally, I think it's a great show of like team spirit and solidarity. So the ref made him sit.
Yeah, the ref made him sit.
Lame.
So Pete, my man, if you can roll up those Southeast.
Here we go.
Here we go. And this was the first goal of Southeast. The back defender kept them on side. That was goal number 1.
Yeah, you can't give that one away there.
So this is a save by Cordova for Southeast. Here's another shot. Saved by the Dalton Academy keeper. This is Hyro with a shot from outside. Saved by the keeper again. This should be the second goal by Diego Castillo. Leo.
That passing the inside.
Boom.
Beautiful I'd be getting out of the way of that one too. That was a rocket.
And then this was a quick heads-up play. Boom. Set it down. Kick it over to little Leo Barajas and one times it. Far post.
That's an angle right there. Nice goal by Leo.
And And like I said, this game ended up being 3-1. We don't have the highlight. But like I said, Dalton Academy gave them a game. I was there for the whole game. They gave them a game pretty much. It was not as easy as I think Southeast would have thought it was going to be, and they came out.
Would have hoped it was going to be.
Yeah, and but they came out victorious, 3-1. Dalton Academy, they're going to take it as a learning experience. So,
if you think that Dalton Academy is going to go into their region play and go into state playoffs and face a Southeast Whitfield, like that's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
So,
and then we don't have highlights. Dalton went down to McIntosh and played this was Dalton number 1 and McIntosh number 2 in 5A classification.
But if you did go over to Dalton Brewing, there could have been some folks over there like
maybe we were watching the game.
Maybe they were discussing it.
So we were watching the game a little bit, and McIntosh scored off 3 set pieces, 2 throw-ins that are like corner kicks or.
Big throw-ins.
They scored on all the first 3 goals set piece, and the last one was a PK.
So what was your overall takeaway from watching that game?
I think Dalton was controlling the game a little bit, but then when they scored on the goals, it's sort of, how it is, the momentum.
Yeah.
There was times where Dalton looked like they were possessing. They scored. They were down 2-0. Then they got a goal right back. They came in, but then they had another long throw in, and they got scored on a set piece. And it's just the typical, I think you put that on a wider field, I think the set pieces are nullified. But, they came back and they built a Calhoun. They came back and beat Calhoun 7-0.
But as well as I do, like the Calhoun game is not the one that they're concerned about. And I think the timing wasn't necessarily the best for the McIntosh game. You're coming off El Clasico on Friday night. Where they win that game 3-0, and then they come back and they got to play on Tuesday. But you know what? That's why Dalton's Dalton, because they play the big games. There are no breaks. So I know Coach Chiefs is going to be disappointed about that. And you know what? I think it's a great learning experience right here now that the first third of the season is over with, to build toward the middle of the season. And so we'll see what happens. I mean, a great bounce back against Calhoun, put them to the sword early, often. So.
And then you had Dalton High Girls. We don't have highlights, but they went down and beat Rome 5-2, or they beat Rome 5-2, and then they beat Calhoun on a wet, sloppy night as well, 2-0. I know you were shocked a little bit by that scoreline. I thought you may be a little different, maybe more on the Dalton side, but it could have been the weather that played a factor in.
The weather is almost always a factor.
And if the weather's going to be a factor this week, let's just get it. Let's just real. It's going to be raining all week. So don't tell them there may be changes. But Dalton, getting ready. Now they came off 2 wins.
Yeah, moved to 8-1.
Northwest girls come off a couple wins. So now I think out of this game that's capping the Soccer City Cup matchup, I'm going to be really more intrigued in the girls matchup. I'm going to see can the Clark sisters break down the defense and midfield of Dalton, and then I'm really more in tune to the girls game than I am for the boys game.
And this is one of the things that I keep struggling with Northwest. As good as they've been the past couple of years, is this a stylistic thing versus Dalton, or does Dalton have their number?
Yeah.
So be there Wednesday night.
Wednesday night, and with that we're going to commercial break, and then we'll come back to our final segment.
Who's up for some football?
That's not football. This is football.
And Eddie, there's one thing that we all can agree on. That's it. North Georgia is the home for new and pre-owned vehicles. And don't forget accessories, parts, service, and collision needs.
Claro que sí se puede. Casillas.
Hey, that's our part.
Experience the power of the links. OptiLink's streaming app VidLink, powered by its fastest internet service, GigLink. Your link to reliable remote access to healthcare. Your link to the best educational opportunities. Your link to our community's only local provider. Your link to the ultimate in entertainment choices and gaming experiences. No interruptions and faster downloads power up your life with the perfect combination of speed and entertainment. VidLink and GigLink. Upgrade today and get the power of the link.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? What would it be like? With today's home values, this is the perfect time to sell and make those dreams a reality.
At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams.
At Coldwell Banker Canard Realty, we've been serving our community since 1974 with offices in Dalton, Calhoun, Ringgold, Cartersville, and Cleveland, Tennessee. We've got you covered.
Welcome back to our final segment. We're going to go to the OptiLink scoreboard for our future games. Schedule. But, like I said, we did finish off discussing that. My thing, we have Wagon Train, big matchup Wednesday. Yep. But then we also have a big matchup down in Tunnel Hill, Southeast. So Soccer City Cup.
Or Northwest and Dalton.
But I feel, for me, I think the game that I'm looking forward to is the girls' game. I said I want to see what's going to happen. Does Yesela, the goal scorer for Dalton, does she finally go off? She sort of wasn't able to play the first 2 games, had a quiet season compared to what in the past. Do the Clarks come off and try to control the game, the midfield, and exploit the wide play or the line play they like to?
I'm definitely not going to pick either one of these games as a Northwest alum. I just don't like picking games like that. But I am interested to see, just like you, the girls' game is the more intriguing matchup for me. Looking at the boys' game, I think it'll be interesting to see how Northwest comes out versus Dalton. Dalton's going to pin their ears back. They're going to come at them. We're going to see, Chris Lopez flying up the right side. Like it's coming.
Well, but the difference compared to the first matchup is this is not on a wide field.
It's not on a wide field. There's a lot of other variables. It's on natural grass. It's going to be wet.
Well, here's the other thing. If it rains and there's too much rain, does it get moved to Riverbend Park? And if you put it at Riverbend Park, that means it's another wide field. I'm just throwing that out there.
It ain't gonna happen. It's gonna be at Northwest.
I'm just throwing. Oh, you already got confirmation.
No, I don't. But I'm just saying, like, if I'm Northwest and I have the ability to do that, I keep it right where it's at because I want every advantage I can.
Well, I know. But
and when I'm already down some players, I mean, there might be, an appearance.
Like I said, so Pete, Mr. Production
Pull up
Man,
that schedule,
bring up
man.
that schedule. There we go. So there is a game going on today. It got put on within the last week. So Southeast is playing today at 6. The girls should have already played, and the boys will be playing down. They're playing Creekview today. So once you see the show, we should have
Probably some scores up already.
But this is for tomorrow. You got Christian Heritage going to Cedartown. Now this the Cedartown boys has been tough to play in the Class 4A region, so I'm kind of intrigued by the scoreline. And then you got Dalton Academy playing Kahala Creek. Why has this been off the radar? Like, did we not?
That because man,
there's too many rival games.
There's too many local games that you really want to see. This is another one. Really intrigued by it. So that's Tuesday.
Because then you have and then so look, Tuesday, go catch one of those matches.
Yeah.
I would probably go see the Kahala Creek Dalton Academy matchup for sure. But then on Wednesday, look, take a pick of one of these.
Well, I know I'm going to be going across the river to cover the north.
And then I'm going to go up north to cover the Dalton Northwest.
We already know which side you're sitting on. Moving on. All right, so Christian Academy against, does that say Fuji's?
Fuji's. That's the way it came off when I looked it up.
All right.
So it's Christian Heritage. Oh, let's get that Christian Heritage playing Fuji's Academy, and then Kahala Creek playing Ridgeland. Interesting scoreline to look at this Ridgeland because Christian Heritage was able to blitz them 7-0.
Well, Creek rolls them.
I'm just curious. And then obviously Friday we've got
Dalton Academy North Murray. You don't want to see that? I want to see that.
And then you got Southeast girls playing in the tournament down in Alabama. And then we've got Dalton playing at Cass. Another region matchup for Dalton, but they're going down to Bartow County. Then Murray County playing Rockmart.
Yep, I want 2 dubs right there in Murray County.
So then Saturday, we've got Southeast playing Georgia Military College, and then we have Southeast girls playing in the girls tournament. So anything, in the last few minutes that we have, which game, obviously I know what games, but anything that's caught your eye so far in the season?
That's caught my eye?
Yeah.
Okay, so number one, Christian Heritage is legit.
Okay.
They're legit good. They can morph their formation. They can morph how they play. If they're playing against a team that may be more talented than them, they can morph into a more defensive posture. They gave Creek all they wanted, and maybe on another day they sneak an equalizer. So I think that really stands out to me. Dalton High boys, I've been really impressed. McIntosh result aside, I've been very impressed with them this year.
Southeast girls, undefeated right now.
Yeah.
Throwing that out there, they flipped the script. Obviously, they still got to play Northwest. They still got to play Dalton again at the end of the season.
Hey, and I'm telling you too, a team that we don't talk about because we're Dalton, Whitfield, Murray, egocentric in this show. Heritage
will be
they're sitting undefeated. I think
that's the measuring stick for 4A between Northwest and Southeast. They're in the same region.
And there's an interesting matchup on Friday. Heritage girls play Alatoona girls.
Oh, so we've known what the Alatoona scorelines have been, 2-0, 3-0.
So that will be a good read into kind of what our local girls can expect when they play Heritage.
So, but like I said, those are the matchups. I mean, on the boys, I said one of the things another key for me is Southeast boys. Mm-hmm. Yes, they've only got what's their record right now? We got them at 5-1-1.
Yeah.
But they've looked uninspired lately.
Okay.
They came out 7-2, ran.
Hey, it's your alma mater. You can say what you want.
No, I can, but
I can't come off saying stuff.
I feel like back-to-back state champs. If they want, because here's the thing: if they want to become state champs for the third time in a row, they potentially have to play a Johnson High School out of Gainesville.
Right.
And if you haven't seen Johnson play, Johnson is the real deal. They got Ford Sandoval, a former Atlanta United youth player.
They beat Dalton last year over at Johnson.
5-4,
different squads, we know.
Yeah, but I think that game. So
here's what I do know. When I look at overall, like our teams, where they're at, and I know they're all duking it out locally right now, but when it comes to region play, here's what I'm saying. Like Christian Heritage, you're gonna make a deep run in state. Dalton Academy, you're gonna make a deep run in state. Color Creek, you're gonna make a deep run. Southeast, you're gonna make a deep run. Dalton, you're gonna make a deep run. That's just on the boys' side. Go to the girls, and I think it's gonna be all about how they place in Christian Heritage and who they draw. But they're gonna make runs in state.
And in Southeast, girls should be, depending where they play. Boys. The Dalton girls, it just depends what they ended up at a 1 seed but played a 4 seed last year in first round. So that's the thing where they end up.
And then on the other side of the river, North Murray, your boys,
Yeah.
like right now they're sitting 4-1 in the region. You're going to go to state. Murray sitting on that bubble, 500, 3-3-1 right now. Like, depending on how results go, I like their odds to go to state.
Yeah.
So it's all building toward that.
And like I said, in the next few weeks, we will have a better idea, better picture of what we're looking at in the area. The bar's already set. Last year we had 13 out of 16 teams make state. So that is the measuring stick moving forward.
Right, I'm glad it's 13 out of 16.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how we are, though. We want 16 out of 16. Are we asking too much? I don't know.
No, but with that, we're getting ready to end this show. Thank you to Geiger Legal for all the highlights. And with that, we'll see you next week.